The hyena holds a unique place in shapeshifter mythology, distinct from its more commonly known cousin, the werewolf. Unlike the widespread European werewolf legends, hyena folklore originates primarily from Africa and the Middle East, where actual spotted and striped hyenas roam. These legendary beings challenge the traditional Western concept of lycanthropy by incorporating uniquely regional beliefs and cultural elements. In their transformed state, hyenas are described as massive beasts, significantly larger than natural hyenas, often standing as tall as a human at the shoulder. They retain the distinctive sloped back and powerful jaws of their animal counterparts, capable of crushing bones with ease. Most accounts describe them with coarse, spotted fur, glowing eyes that reflect firelight, and the unsettling laugh characteristic of spotted hyenas. Unlike werewolves, hyenas are often depicted as maintaining some human features even in their transformed state, such as the ability to walk upright or retain human eyes. The behavior of werehyenas varies significantly from werewolf lore. While werewolves are typically portrayed as solitary hunters, werehyenas often maintain the social structure of their animal counterparts, forming packs and hunting in groups. They are described as intelligent hunters who use their human cunning combined with hyena strength. Many accounts suggest they retain full awareness during transformation, unlike the mindless rage often attributed to werewolves. Regional variations of hyena lore are extensive. In East Africa, particularly among Ethiopian folklore, hyenas are often associated with blacksmiths and other craftspeople, who are believed to possess the ability to transform at will. North African traditions portray them as more solitary and often connect them with witchcraft and sorcery. West African variants sometimes describe werehyenas as humans who make pacts with spirits for the power to transform, while Middle Eastern accounts frequently associate them with grave robbing and nocturnal activities. The evolution of hyena folklore reflects changing societies. Ancient accounts often portrayed them as guardian spirits or tribal protectors, while colonial-era stories began casting them as antagonists, reflecting cultural conflicts of the time. Modern urban legends have adapted these tales, with some versions depicting werehyenas as vigilantes who protect communities from criminals under cover of darkness. Werehyenas and werewolves, while both shapeshifters, represent distinct mythological traditions with fascinating differences and occasional overlaps. Their contrasts reflect the cultural, geographical, and zoological differences between their regions of origin. Transformation mechanics differ significantly between the two traditions. Werewolves typically transform involuntarily during the full moon, often experiencing extreme pain and losing their human consciousness during the change. Werehyenas, conversely, are usually portrayed as voluntary shapeshifters who maintain their human intelligence and can change at will. Some werehyenas traditions describe the transformation as a learned skill or inherited ability, while werewolf transformation is typically viewed as a curse or affliction. The methods of transmission also contrast sharply. Werewolves traditionally spread their condition through bites or scratches, creating an infectious narrative similar to disease transmission. Werehyenas abilities are often depicted as inherited through family lines, learned through spiritual practices, or gained through magical pacts. Some traditions associate werehyenas transformation with specific professions or social roles, particularly metalworkers and religious practitioners. Social behavior patterns differ dramatically between the two creatures. Werewolves are typically portrayed as solitary hunters, driven by bloodlust and operating alone even when human society accepts them. Werehyenas maintain complex social structures mirroring both human communities and hyena clans, often forming hierarchical groups with specific roles and responsibilities. These social aspects reflect the actual behavior of wolves, primarily solitary in many regions, and hyenas, highly social with complex clan structures. Their relationship with human society also differs markedly. Werewolf legends usually emphasize the tragic nature of the curse and the werewolf's struggle to maintain their humanity. Werehyenas stories often present transformation as a form of power or privilege, though sometimes a morally ambiguous one. Many werehyenas tales describe shapeshifters who serve as community protectors or maintain ordinary lives within their societies, while werewolves are typically outcasts or hidden members of society. Hunting and feeding patterns reflect different cultural fears. Werewolves are usually depicted as indiscriminate killers who attack humans for flesh or the thrill of the hunt. Werehyenas are often associated with specific taboo behaviors like grave robbing or eating prohibited foods. Some werehyenas legends focus more on their role as scavengers or nighttime foragers rather than active hunters of humans. The methods of protection and defense against these creatures differ significantly. Werewolves are famously vulnerable to silver, wolfsbane, and religious symbols, reflecting European folklore and Christian influences. Werehyenas protections typically involve local spiritual practices, specific herbs, or ritual protections. Some traditions suggest that werehyenas can be reasoned with or deterred through social mechanisms rather than physical weapons. The werehyena folklore reflects several key cultural values and social dynamics from its regions of origin, particularly in East and North Africa and parts of the Middle East. Social hierarchy and power structures feature prominently in these tales. The association of werehyena abilities with specific professions, particularly blacksmiths in Ethiopian folklore, reflects the complex status of craftspeople, who are both respected for their skills and sometimes feared or marginalized due to their mysterious knowledge. This demonstrates how societies viewed power that existed outside traditional political or religious authority. Gender dynamics play a significant role, particularly in regions where hyena clans' matriarchal structure paralleled or contrasted with human social organizations. Some traditions feature powerful women as werehyenas, reflecting both acknowledgement of female power and societal anxiety about women operating outside traditional roles. These stories often served as commentary on gender expectations and the consequences of challenging social norms. The emphasis on voluntary transformation, rather than an involuntary curse, reflects cultural values regarding personal responsibility and the relationship between power and choice. Many traditions present werehyena abilities as a tool that could be used for either community protection or personal gain, emphasizing the moral responsibility that comes with power. Religious and spiritual syncretism appears frequently in werehyena lore. Stories often blend indigenous spiritual beliefs with Islamic or Christian elements, reflecting how communities adapted to religious changes while maintaining cultural traditions. The association of werehyenas with night activities and grave robbing often speaks to tensions between traditional practices and newer religious prohibitions. The symbolic meanings of these creatures in their respective cultures also contrast sharply. Werewolves often represent humanity's struggle with its bestial nature, or the tension between civilization and wilderness. Werehyenas frequently symbolize social power dynamics, cultural taboos, or the complex relationship between different classes or professions within a society. Some werehyena legends serve as commentary on gender roles, particularly in cultures where hyena clans' matriarchal structure parallels or contrasts with human social structures. Modern interpretations have evolved differently for each creature. Werewolves have been extensively romanticized in contemporary media, often portrayed as tragic heroes or misunderstood outsiders. Werehyena legends have maintained more of their original complexity in modern adaptations, often serving as commentary on social dynamics and power structures. However, both creatures have found new relevance in discussions of human nature, society, and transformation. Geographic distribution and cultural spread also show interesting patterns. Werewolf legends spread widely throughout Europe and later to European-influenced cultures, developing relatively consistent characteristics across regions. Werehyena stories remained more regionally specific, maintaining stronger connections to local cultural practices and beliefs, though they are gaining more global recognition through modern fantasy literature and media. These differences and similarities demonstrate how shapeshifter legends evolved to reflect local wildlife, cultural values, and social structures. While both creatures embody the concept of human-animal transformation, they represent distinct traditions with their own rich symbolism and cultural significance. Traditional defenses against werehyenas differ from those used against werewolves. Silver has no special effect in most traditions. Instead, protective measures often include specific herbs, ritual scarification, and protective amulets blessed by religious or tribal leaders. Some regions believe that speaking the werehyena's human name aloud will force them to return to human form. Contemporary views of werehyena legends have evolved with modern scholarship. Anthropologists suggest these tales served as metaphors for social tensions and power dynamics within traditional societies. Some researchers point to the matriarchal structure of hyena packs as significant in cultures where these legends flourished, often connecting them to stories of powerful women and social outsiders. Today, werehyena legends have gained new attention in fantasy literature and media, particularly as creators seek to explore shapeshifter myths beyond the European werewolf tradition. Werehyena folklore represents a rich and complex mythology that reflects the cultural, social, and ecological context of its origins. Unlike the more familiar werewolf legends, werehyena tales emphasize social dynamics, intentional transformation, and regional spiritual practices. As these stories continue to evolve and find new audiences, they offer unique perspectives on the relationship between humans, animals, and the supernatural, while maintaining their distinctive character separate from other shapeshifter myths.